having the right team and a genuinely high-performing team involves making some tough decisions sometimes.
The best thing you can do is not wing it, ever. Like, put a strategy in place. What's worked, repeat, and focus there. The key with any business is knowing how to recruit and being disciplined. That's it. If you can do those two things, you'll outlast everyone else anyway.
A lot of very, very successful businesses, they've turned what could be an issue into an opportunity because they've looked at it from a different angle.
And I think the biggest thing is understand what your weak spots are, and then don't be afraid of them. Understand how you fill those spots.
I'm Mike Harris, and I help businesses to successfully grow their profit and turnover. In the last year alone, I have helped over 20 companies at least double in size. And I work with a mixture of firms for small, medium and large businesses, including startups and multinationals. Every business grows differently. There's no single playbook to follow. The most valuable lessons come from those who have been there before and truly understand what works. That's why we seized the opportunity to interview a diverse array of experts at the recent Festival of Entrepreneurs, the UK's premier event for ambitious business owners. We all know it's tough running a business, even tougher when you're trying to scale that business at pace. Everybody looks to you to have all the answers, to always be in control. In this episode, we ask our experts for their key messages to help you, the business leaders, entrepreneurs and founders of the future.
And there was also a lot of talk about celebrating failure, because the more we fail, the more we're going to succeed.
Well, it's not celebrating failure, but it's not having a fear of failure. It's in ensuring that if you don't succeed, you regard it as a life and business lesson for the next iteration. And I think that's the difference between the UK and the United States, for example, where in America, failure is not regarded as something to be ashamed of. It's regarded as part of the learning curve. That's a lesson we would do well to take to heart in Britain.
Why do you feel so many leaders struggle with that part of relinquishing the business?
Because I think they struggle to give up their baby. They founded the company. Maybe they don't want to lose control, but it is the magic model. And if they can get over that, and it's not saying sell up and leave, because I think too many entrepreneurs sell up and leave the business too early, but it's working on the business or on the bit of the business that they really enjoy. That might be product development, that might be business development, but have somebody that can focus on running the day-to-day.
How important do you think that is for leaders within the business?
Massive. I often call it the PLC of you. So I've got a director of fun, I've got a director of ideas, I've got people that I reach out to when I need a pick-me-up. Or I've got an idea, there is one person I speak to first. Having that network of people around you is incredibly important. But mentorship as well is just great. If you can pick on someone's past experience, their brain, a completely different point of view, 9 times out of 10 as well, it just gives you a different way of thinking, and I think it's a great thing to invest in. If you can get those people around you that you can rely upon as well and be that trusted person for them as well, I think it just makes the world turn a little bit smoother.
And when you talk about that strategy and going into business and implementing that, what is the biggest challenge that then the leaders face when they're trying to implement the strategy you just mentioned?
They're normally, well, what I always say, Sean, is that what has got you to this stage will not necessarily get you to where you want to be, right? So once we've got a plan, we've got a strategy, we know where we're heading, obviously we've got to make it happen. And there's normally a couple of blockers to that. One, team, because, we need to have the right people sitting on the bus in the right seats, all facing the same direction, all the obvious stuff. But when you're actually leading a business where people and emotions are involved, sometimes that can be quite hard. So we've got to really dig deep and say, have we got a high-performing team, or do we need to make some adjustments to that, bring in new talent maybe? So having the right team and a genuinely high-performing team involves making some tough decisions sometimes. So that's one of the challenges. The second one, I think, is often raising finance and actually having, because cash, if you haven't got cash, quite frankly, you can't pay your suppliers, you can't do anything. So raising finance and being able to pitch with confidence to investors whether it's institutional investment, whether it's angels, whether it's just going to the bank to get an extended overdraft. You've got to be able to articulate your vision, your mission. So it comes back to that as well, having a compelling story. So those are probably the two areas that I think, people can struggle with. So you've got to have the right person by your side, to help you.
So I think one common pitfall for early stage companies is they tend to fall back on a chicken and egg problem between not necessarily having funding and then not being able to go to market with a product. And sometimes they build strategies around funding, around spending, around the need for capital in the bank, whereas actually the stronger strategies are the ones that don't tend to rely on I need £500,000 in order to achieve A, B and C, but doing it in a more cost effective way. So relying too much on external funding.
And do you think that's something you've learned from experience? Do you feel now you're going on hindsight and what you've learned in the past?
Yeah. So the first couple of years it was say yes to everything and that was the strategy and let's see what lands. Now that I've tested things, I can actually look back and say, these things worked for me, these things made me money, these things made me feel good, or this is the way I want to give back. And so when I actually tested those things, I can say they're the things I need to double down on. Even if there's something shiny and amazing over here, which there always is, I can actually go back to what I've tested, because the more that I grow and the more money that I make, actually the more people I get to help and the more team I get to take on, and then I get to say yes to all the other stuff afterwards. So it gets easier if you actually look back. Most business owners make the mistake of not looking back and actually looking at what's worked for me and then saying yes to those things. They just keep kind of winging it. The best thing you can do is not wing it. Ever. Like, put a strategy in place. What's worked, repeat, and focus there. The key with any business is knowing how to recruit and being disciplined. That's it. If you can do those two things, you'll outlast everyone else anyway.
And for you and your business,
Yes.
how do you strategize?
If I said feeling, that's it. Yeah, it depends. So I've got 3 businesses in total. I make sure the right people are in place. Taking my ego out of it. If I can't do something or I'm not amazing at it, using and working with people who are, and taking, there's that lack of, I need to control stuff because I don't, because I'm like, I know what I need for me. Let me get what I need for the business and the right people for that. I think, getting the right people for sure.
So do you find that people are fearful of all these changes when you're working with business leaders? What do you find that challenge is? Is it the fear factor?
I think there's kind of 2 types of people, or it's probably more of a sort of a range. But as in I think the first, there's a group of people who are fearful. There's also a lot of people who are really keen, and some people I speak to today, it's like, I want AI in everything. And it's like, so there's some early adopters. There's definitely people who know that this is a thing that they need to take on board. And then there are some people who are more fearful about sort of how it might disrupt things. But I think if you're not going to move with the times here, you're going to get left behind, and we're seeing that already.
What do you think are the top attributes you need to have to be a good leader in business?
Sustainability. You've got to be a little bit robust, and you've got to realise that sometimes what appears to be an issue can be an opportunity. Again, without being glib, that's the way a lot of very, very successful businesses, they've turned what could be an issue into an opportunity because they've looked at it from a different angle. That would be my top tip.
What would your tips be for someone who is a leader in managing that expectation?
Delegate. Find the right people with the right skills that can help drive and change the way things are done. You can't do it all. And I've learned over my journey to release some things where there are people with better skills to be able to do that for you.
So we've scaled a number of teams over the years, and I think there's a couple of tips I would definitely suggest to those people. Number one is meet people in person and really become very comfortable who they are. And if they don't feel like a fit, you are better off not hiring than hiring. Like, I've definitely hired people where I've known, not sure, and they've turned out to be quite a detriment to the team. So that's the big one. And the other thing is listening to everyone in the team to find out what you feel is going to fit into that box. Be driven by personality type and personality skills more than like hard experience.
I think the biggest thing that people find is that they think as a founder, their shoulders are super broad and they think they have to do it all, otherwise they failed. And I think the biggest thing is understand what your weak spots are and then don't be afraid of them. Understand how you fill those spots, whether that's recruiting people, whether that's working with other agencies, whether that is just saying, actually, that's not a priority right now, but further down the line, I can come back to it. Actually, don't try and do it all because you can't.
Well, I actually applaud the people that are coming here. I feel like we should have one of those great big Lord Kitchener posters from the First World War. You know, your country needs you, because we've got all these jokers in Westminster talking about growth. If we're going to revive the British economy, it's going to be the people at this festival that make that happen. So to me, it's really important to bring them together here. And what I'm seeing with some of the other exhibitors is all the kind of support services that a founder would need: accounting, legal, marketing, finance. For us, it's obviously fundraising. So anyone that's wanting to grow a business or has an existing business that they're trying to really accelerate, then I think all the resources you need are here at the festival.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Leave a comment if you're watching this on YouTube. You can message me directly on LinkedIn or email me on the email address that you see here. And don't forget to like and subscribe by clicking on the bell icon for more valuable insights into leadership and strategy. Just a quick reminder of where you can find us. You can watch us on the Leaders in Strategy YouTube channel, listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon, Podbean, Podchaser. We upload every episode onto LinkedIn and onto the website. We've now got the Leaders in Strategy blog running, which captures the highlights from each episode. And we've also got the Shorts channel, How to Grow Your Business, where there'll be clips from this episode. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope you've liked it today and you've got a lot out of it. And I'll see you all soon on the Leaders in Strategy podcast, when we'll be talking about strategy, leadership and all things business. I'll see you then. Thanks.